10/19, about INVEGA. It's the 6th to 8th, 2012. Well, this is how I feel today. I feel like a date rape drug was put in my food or my water or whatnot, and I feel fat and bloated and assaulted. Since my treatment, it's been a year and a half or so since I've been off INVEGA. I shouldn't feel this way. I shouldn't feel lazy and slow still. I guess the chemical lobotomy of this assault from a deadly weapon called INVEGA has been put in my body. Human rights have been violated, and laws that dictate on a death sentence on a body that takes the right of movement away and health and the adequate lifestyle, because now I can't look for a job because I can't get up and walk around because I don't have the right of movement, because I don't have the physical strength to do so. I'm a man. I need testosterone in my level, and once it's down to a certain level, I understand it's almost like being dead-like, that a man in his 70s and 80s has a testosterone level as low as I have. Rights to do such a thing as go in assisted suicide means that I can buy any drug or medication on the open market in a pharmacy that I want and have whenever I want as well, because for free too, because I'm a man and you've caused this harm to my body and it naturally doesn't fall like this. All medications and all treatments and all heart surgeries that has to do with any type of electronics has only been done in the last 20 to 30 years that electronics has come around. It's a Frankenstein experiment, anything that a doctor does or says. It's just an experiment. We're human lab rats, and they're still trying to experiment and get it right. That's why they have to go on medications all the time. This is a human right violation, is what I went through. No fair or equal justice system for a death sentence or life imprisonment. Being in a chair or a wheelchair, like the guy down the hall, Chris, who can't stand up anymore. To do any treatment that is irreversible, such as kill somebody as a death sentence, you have to have a criminal court system, like down in the United States or even in Canada, to put Picton in a thing, or the Moncton shooting, what's his name, Justin, and so forth. A complete assault on my body that I can't run 5:19 in a mile at 175 pounds or 170 pounds, what I was then in 2005. A complete assault that nobody seems to listen, from doctor to ombudsman to lawyers to the top of the food chain, being our parliament, that this harm or act against society or act against humanity and genocide to society, being a man, being a minority in this country and in this world, 7-1, is right out of hand. If you don't recognize that this drug is so harmful, and years later it's still affecting a human body, that a man can't handle obesity and not have his physical abilities in life, and be in jail and feel so weak and weak-minded because they don't have natural testosterone in their body, and without it in their body, they get a little cuckoo and can't handle life by different smells in the air that irritate the fuck out of you or burn your skin and eyes, that seems to go on a regular basis, and sleep deprivation treatment of loud sounds and smells and knocking on doors deliberately, because it doesn't happen normally when you're on medication. Once you're off the medication for a few months, then they start up again. There's no safe zones for anybody to go to, because it just seems to follow you around. I don't know what else to say, but this is a death sentence. This is a human right violation, an act against humanity, and that a doctor can be so angry and mad, and a mercenary coming to our country at the age of 2 and living here all their lives to harm Canadian citizens because they ain't good enough. Just like my stepdad or dad who raised me, Dave Lai Quinfuss, said, "You're a useless piece of shit, you're a retard." And my mom and dad, Ross Joseph Francis and Anne Christine Bush Lai, would say, "Oh, you need medication, you're psychologically deranged," because they're psychologically deranged, they want you killed, they want to harm you, and they don't give a shit about you because they want this type of treatment on you. And an assault from a little brother, Shane Lai, with some type of dog mace when he drops off bottles, and his ignorant psychological assaults, that you get slapped in the face and have to live on the street, and the government just tells you to take a walk and you have nowhere to go and you find jobs and you can't get your right pay for the jobs and get discouraged from looking for jobs and so forth, and are forced to do stupid things like dig in the dumpster. So you don't have to go to a soup kitchen and eat stale bread and have useless soup and not have enough calories per day to live because you studied how to lift weights and be an athlete because that's your lifestyle, and know that you have to have a certain amount of calories per day of proteins and carbs and vegetables and juices per day, like 1 gram of protein per body pound to maintain your body weight. You can all Google it and go like that, and you can Google Department of Justice and Human Rights and find out that everything I'm saying is the absolute God-forsaken truth. And that's all it is. Because if there is a God, God would protect me and eliminate all those who harmed me as well. Because that's what God would do for me. I've prayed to God many times as a kid and nothing's happened. So I pray to God to eliminate everyone who's harmed me in association so I can live the last of my 50 years of life and try to give my health back to me. Because a doctor's not a God who says, here's your medication so you can live, and say, I'm Jesus Christ because I'm healing you, because you're not. It's not a touch. It's not one needle that makes you revive and come back to life. When it's a year and a half or more of medication that harmed a body and the mind that you don't know anything about, that you say, we only use 5% of our brains anyways. 5% of that little mass above your head is all you use. Meaning we're all pretty fucking stupid, and we must have telekinesiology and telepathicness and be able to levitate off the ground if we really needed to. And everything we know is only what we know. We don't know anything out of our own minds and our bodies because somebody's taught us what we know. You want to tell me something? You tell me the definition of the word you mean when I ask you what you mean. Like when I ask my mom, what do you mean by violence, Mom? I ain't violence, and she has no word other than violence. Violence, Mom, is the treatment you want to do to somebody to harm them, like what I'm going through right now. That is a violent offender. Instead of using a gun or a knife, you used a chemical weapon to harm somebody. That is a violent offense. No difference than a mass shooting in the world. There's how many millions of people on INVEGA in this country and in the United States of North America and the world. Just like World War II events, diagnosing people with schizophrenia, ADT, and all types of things to harm them and kill them, causing obesity and hormone levels to drop, killing them in another way. That's all you've done in every report that I've read since World War II. Reenacting over and over again harmful things that a bunch of Nazis come up with, and you can't come up with anything new because you ain't intelligent enough to come up with something that's better to society. Oh yeah, testosterone's good. Well, it's in your body, the fake stuff, the injection, cypionate, propionate, enanthate, D-bol, anavar, anadrol. It makes you strong and fit, makes your muscles bull out, so you have biceps, not fat like this, and gives you unbelievable strength and a man to be able to walk upright instead of hunched over like the hunchback because a low testosterone level, and work a full productive day. But without it, they have nothing in the world. Sue hemp. So look at it. And you say you're a Christian? There's the 10 Commandments. I shall not harm or kill or maim somebody from living their lives. The Vatican. 10 Commandments. Go through it. Anyhow, have a good day. Psychological torture, abuse, and nobody needs mind games their entire life.